The Harpy Eagle, the quiet queen of the Amazon. You know, many people think the Amazon rainforest is always loud and full of action. And yes, sometimes it is. There are frogs that sing all night, insects that buzz all day, and monkeys that shout just because they can. But the story I want to tell you today begins in a very quiet moment, the kind of moment when even the air seems to wait. I was walking with a local guide, an older man who knew the forest much better than I did. He stopped, raised his hand, and whispered, "Listen." At first I heard nothing. Then I felt it, a soft movement of air above us. Not wind. Something else. Something big. "Harpy Eagle," the man said quietly. And that was the first time I saw the queen of the Amazon sky. The Harpy Eagle is not loud or flashy. It doesn't need to be. When you are one of the strongest birds on the planet, you can afford to move slowly, silently, almost like a shadow. Her wings did not even make a sound. She just flew from one tall tree to another, like she had all the time in the world. You may think eagles look similar, but the Harpy Eagle is different. She is huge, almost as tall as a small child when she stands on a branch. Her legs are thick and strong, and her claws are so big that people sometimes compare them to a bear's claws. And it's true. They really are that powerful. But what surprised me most were her eyes. They were calm, focused, almost serious. Not angry, not wild, just very aware. This is the look of a creature that knows exactly who she is. People in the rainforest respect the Harpy Eagle. Not because she attacks people, she doesn't. In fact, she prefers to stay away from humans. But she is a master hunter. She sees things we would never notice. A monkey moving inside thick leaves, a sloth sleeping high in the branches, or even a snake hiding in the shadows. When she decides to hunt, she comes down fast. Very fast. Imagine a large bird dropping through the trees like a falling stone. One strong movement, one loud whoosh, and the hunt is over. It sounds scary, but for the rainforest, this is normal life. The Harpy Eagle keeps the balance. Without her, the forest would be very different. I asked the guide if people ever get close to them. He laughed softly and said, "Close enough to admire, far enough to stay smart." And that is exactly the right distance. These birds are beautiful, but they are also wild. They need space. Respect is the best kind of love you can give to a creature like that. Later that day, we saw something special. On top of a huge tree, a tree so tall it looked like it touched the sky, there was a nest. It was bigger than any nest I had ever seen, almost the size of a small bed. The mother eagle was sitting there, very still, protecting her chick. She looked peaceful, almost gentle, but I could tell she was watching everything around her. Harpy eagles raise only one chick every couple of years. They invest a lot of time and care. The chick stays in the nest for many months, learning slowly, step by step, how to be a hunter, how to fly, how to survive. Nature takes its time here. Nothing is rushed. And you know, something about that touched me. In our fast world, we often think everything must happen quickly. But the Harpy Eagle teaches a different lesson: strength grows slowly, and patience is part of power. When the sun began to set, the forest changed its color. Everything looked gold and soft. The mother eagle stood up, stretched her wings, and for a moment, the light made her look even bigger. She wasn't showing off, she was simply being herself. Calm. Confident. Quietly magnificent. We watched her take off and disappear between the trees without a single sound. It felt almost like magic, the kind that doesn't ask for attention. As we walked back, the guide said, "Some animals shout their presence. The harpy doesn't need to. The forest already knows she is here." And I understood what he meant. So, when people ask me about the Amazon, I often tell them this story. Not because it is dramatic, but because it stays with me. The Harpy Eagle didn't roar or dance or do anything strange. She didn't come close to us, and that was good. But in her quiet way, she showed something important: Real power doesn't need noise. If you ever visit the rainforest, you might not see her. She is rare, and she likes her privacy. But if you feel a soft movement in the air above you, and the forest suddenly becomes quiet, look up. Maybe the queen is passing by. And trust me, even one short look is enough to remember for a lifetime.